Hey, it's PJ, and welcome to the first episode of The Aspects of Life. And I am beyond excited to be here because I've been putting this off for years together. And honestly speaking, this is 11:30 right now, and this is probably the 15th or 16th take. I've been trying to be perfectionist. And let's be honest, I'm not that. I just want to be me today. And I know probably you're tuning in from all sorts of places, whether you're on a walk, driving to work, just relaxing at home, or trying to get to the chores. Wherever you are, thank you so much for investing this time in yourself today to be with me. Before we dive in, I want to ask you something. What does happiness look like for you? Picture it in your mind. Now ask yourself, how close is your current life is to that picture? I don't want you to rush. Actually take a moment right now. Close your eyes, visualize that life and ask yourself, am I living it? Or is it something that I'm chasing, thinking it's somewhere out there just out of reach? Today, we are getting real about happiness, what it truly means, and more importantly, how you can create it. Not find it, not waiting for it, but actually create it in your life. And the truth is, no one has it all figured out, and that's all right. We are all on this journey together, even me. Well, if you're like me, you'll probably spend a good amount of time wondering about happiness. Why does it feel sometimes so out of reach? Despite hitting milestones or achieving certain things, why does something still feel off? I know I've been there. Working in corporates with big companies for about 10 years, I've hit all the milestones, got promotions, got the hikes. But you know what? It never seemed to be enough. I never seemed to be finally be happy. And that happiness that I've achieved when I was hitting those milestones, it was always with an expiring date. And there's always a next big thing that would actually feel like would make me happy. But you know what? It just didn't live that long. But here is the thing, happiness doesn't always arrive just because we check the box. In fact, happiness searches are at an all time high. Did you know that around 40,000 people every month in the US alone search on Google for how to be happy? That's 40,000 people who, like you and me, are trying to figure it out. And if we are being honest here, the journey to happiness can often feel overwhelming because we think it's a destination, a place where we arrive at when everything in life finally falls into place. But here is the truth. I want you to really let this sink in. Happiness isn't something that you find, it's something that you create. I know that I might be sounding like a guru, but this is true. This is what I discovered. And this is what I want to share with you today, that it's not hiding in your next big achievement or a fancy vacation. Real happiness is in that little things that we create, the small moments of joy that we choose to notice. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you truly felt happy? Was it because you got something new, a car, a raise, or a new gadget? Or was it because of something simpler, like laughing with a friend, spending time with family, or pursuing a hobby that you really love? I know if I have to look back in my life, the big promotions, the big achievements that I once had it as goal or a dream, I was happy, but then it was nothing compared to that moments that I've spent with the friends that really counted in my life. And Candy, if you're hearing this, I want to thank you from the bottom of the heart for giving me the best memory of my life. The day that we jumped a wall in the park to have the gala of time. And that is something that I will always cherish. Thank you so much. But that story, I will explain that for some other day. But I want to ask you this. When was the last time that you truly felt happy? Was it because you got something new? And I haven't realized this unless I had to check in with myself on my very low day. Why am I not happy? And this is what most of us do. We try to find that happiness into these big moments that are yet to come. But the truth is, the small everyday experiences that we create for ourselves, that's where the happiness is. It's not about what we achieve, it's about how we live. And I'm the living proof about this. So, how can we find our happiness that can last long, that can be ever fulfilling? I want to get interactive with you. I want you to try something with me. Wherever you are, unless you're driving, hold up your hand. Yes, physically do it. Don't worry, no one's watching. All right. So now here is the thing. I want you to put up your hand and imagine this, that each finger representing a different aspect of your life. And this is where your happiness is going to be. Your thumb is more likely be your relationships. That's your family, friends, or your close connections. Your index finger could be mental health. It could be your thoughts, feelings, or overall emotional well being. The middle finger is your physical health, how you care for your body, your energy, how you move through the world. And your ring finger, that's your career or passions, your job, your dreams, and what excites you. And the little finger, that's your spiritual connection, whatever that means to you. It's your faith system, it's your beliefs about your life. And your palm, the base that holds everything together, that's your true self. It's your identity, it's your core, it's who you are when everything else is stripped away. Now look at that hand. Take a second to reflect. Think about these six aspects. Which one feels stronger right now? Which one feels neglected in your life? Let me tell you this, it's not easy to ask yourself the deep questions, and majorly because we feel awkward. Not because they are lame questions, but because we have no idea, not a clue about ourselves. Don't believe me? Let's try right now. What are your core beliefs about life? What do you want to be known for? Who are you? If you literally have to give your intro to the universe and it's hearing you out, how would you introduce yourself? Can you feel awkward right now? Do you feel that cringe? Trust me, I did a lot, many times, that it was actually easy for me to just ignore, just dismiss these thoughts, and just to feel that instant relief. And because I know it's difficult to ask these questions to ourselves, I want to be there with you, taking that journey towards meeting your best selves. Let's do it together, you and me. And how can I be with you? I really want to dive a little deeper into each of these six aspects of life, starting with the most important one, your true self. This is where everything begins. Your true self is the foundation of your happiness. That's your palm. It's about knowing who you are, what you value, and what you want out of life. It's about being true to yourself, even when it's difficult. And I know it's difficult because when you invest in your true self, you're not just making your life better, but you're also fighting to make it better. And that's the way that you're going to create a solid foundation that supports everything else in your life. But here is the deal with the balance. It's not about giving equal time to each area every single day. That's not how life works, and it's not realistic. Balance is about understanding what's more important to you at this moment. Think of yourself as a tightrope walker. You don't walk with both feet perfectly spaced apart all the time. Sometimes you lean more to one side, and that's okay. The key is to avoid tipping too far in one direction. Let's say your career is your focus right now. You're working extra hours to hit a deadline or secure a promotion. That's normal. And sometimes one area takes precedence. But when you do this for too long, other areas can suffer. Maybe you stop seeing your friends or come home too exhausted to connect with your partner. Here is a game changer that I've realized. Small actions in one area can create positive ripple effects in others. Let me share a story with you. A few years ago, I had a friend who was burning out at work. Her days were too much grinding, and the stress was affecting her relationships and health. So she made a small, teeny tiny change. She started walking a 30-minute walk every morning, just a small shift. But over time, that tiny action had a big impact. The walks helped clear her mind, boost her productivity, and improve her relationships. It wasn't the walk itself, it was the change in mindset. and the ripple effect it created. So ask yourself, what's that one small step that you can take today in any of these six aspects that could create a ripple effect? Don't try to change everything at once because you will fail in all of them. Just start with one thing. Let's talk about the journey itself. This often trips us all up. We think happiness is like a finish line, a destination we'll reach eventually. But what if I told you that journey itself is the key to the happiness? There's an incredible study that Harvard has done in the adult development, especially, that's been going on over 80 years, and it started somewhere in 1930s. They tracked hundreds of people over their lifetimes. Do you know what they found? The happiest and healthiest people were those who nurtured strong relationships and engaged in meaningful activities. It wasn't about their wealth or success, it was about connection and purpose. That's a powerful reminder. Happiness isn't about waiting for some perfect future, it's about building it in the present through everyday moments and connections. Here is where we get into that nitty gritty stuff. You need actionable steps. So here's your challenge for today. Pick one area of your life, relationships, mental health, or maybe your career. Just take that one small step. Maybe it's calling a friend that you haven't spoken to in a while. I know I have to call my friend Candy, but maybe it's journaling for 5 minutes about how you're feeling or setting a small goal for yourself. Whatever it is, just do it. As you take that step, pay attention. How does it make you feel? Does it shift your mood? Does it bring you a little closer to the balance? It doesn't need to be a massive change, it just needs to be a start. We will be diving deeper into each of these areas in future episodes where I want to handhold you. If something stood out to you today, don't worry, we'll explore it more. For now, focus on starting. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope this episode gave you something to think about and, more importantly, something to act upon. Remember, happiness isn't something that you find, it's something that you create, and you've got everything you need to start right now. Until next time, keep shining, keep growing, and take that step towards the happiness that you deserve. And I know you do.